So if you haven't had a specific conversation with your tax professional about how did government mandate orders affect your business operations during the pandemic, you haven't been assessed for the credit properly. Hi there, my name is Catherine Tyndall. I'm a CPA and one of the partners at Dominion Enterprise Services. We're a specialty tax and accounting CPA firm. Let's go into, my top 5 mistakes that I see business owners make. So the first one is not being properly assessed for the employee retention credit. How do you know if you haven't been assessed? The first piece is, does your tax professional have access to quarterly financial statements from 2019 through 2021? That's the first piece. If they don't have access to those quarterly financial statements, you haven't been assessed. The second piece, which this is where I see more people make a mistake, is that there's 2 ways you can be eligible for the program, basically. The first way is through just a straight revenue test. So they just, take a look at your financials and you either meet it or you don't. The second is if you had government orders that impacted your operations. And so if you haven't had a specific conversation with your tax professional about how did government mandate orders affect your business operations during the pandemic, you haven't been assessed for the credit properly, because that's the second avenue. A lot of businesses are eligible under that. And it's a very specific conversation you have with your tax professional, and then they go and look up the orders. And so common examples for restaurant industry would be things like indoor seating limitations, capacity limitations from, orders from the governor. So something like that would trigger eligibility. For construction, it can be, social distancing requirements that reduced your ability to have full crews on jobs from a state government order for a certain time period. So that would trigger eligibility. And so it's a very specific conversation with your tax professional around that. And it's a very specific conversation about how it directly impacted your operations and what were the actual government orders. So if you haven't had that conversation, you haven't been assessed. If you haven't explored this program, you can visit our website. There are a lot more resources that explain the program, explain other things you should watch out for. And we also have a guide version of this video, top 5 mistakes, with more details of, action items that I would advise business owners to watch out for, because it really is a golden opportunity. We've seen this be life-changing for businesses. And we've seen this be a program that's really pulled a lot of, businesses, especially in industries that were really affected by the pandemic. This can kind of be that silver bullet to help kind of get you right back on your feet.